Tonight, a national campaign returns to NIU and takes a stand against sexual assault. Kindergarten students face a longer school day. And if you're looking for healthy dining on campus, it may be on four wheels. We'll explain. NTC News Tonight starts right now.
You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
Sexual assault. It's a harsh reality many people face at colleges across the country. Good evening, I'm Darius Parker.
And I'm Chris Larson. Many people don't report a sexual assault that's happened to them. As part of the Week of Action, one movement returns to NIU to show people across campus that it's okay to talk about it.
The weather has moved the event indoors, but a few NIU students and staff are adding their names to a banner in support of It's On Us. The event was planned to take place as a rally outside of the MLK Commons on the NIU campus, but plans have changed. It's On Us is also sharing a table with another event organized by the Student Association, but none of this has slowed anyone down who is in support of the cause.
We reached out to about 250 students last night who took the pledge, so going into this morning we already had 250 students that took the pledge. The Senate was nice enough to help us, to let us share a table with them as they're doing their letter writing campaign.
The primary cause of It's On Us is to promote awareness of sexual assault, an issue that is often avoided.
Sexual assault is one of the most underreported crimes. So again, awareness is super important. A lot of people are assaulted and they don't speak on it, but if they see, oh, other people are being assaulted, like this is a whole campaign, like maybe that will give them the courage to come forward.
The Student Association feels a hands-on approach will help students remember sexual assault is an issue that needs to be discussed.
Students are asked to sign the pledge and get their pinky painted for violence awareness.
It's On Us is part of the Student Association's Week of Action, a week of events like this one that call for the NIU community to support awareness of important issues. For a couple of hours today, members of the NIU community showed the action they are willing to take for important issues, regardless of the weather.
If you'd like to get involved, the Student Association is also holding the Survivors Find Freedom Silent Gallery tonight from 6 to 8 for the Week of Action.
It's been a year, but today Lucinda Avenue opens up a new section of road that stretches across the west side of campus. A 10-minute campus is what NIU President Baker calls it. It's part of a multi-million-dollar plan for the west side of campus that began with the demolition of Douglas Hall last fall. The weather created a challenge, but it did not stop a grand opening ceremony this afternoon.
Very, very excited. A big moment. When Douglas Hall came down, I had mixed emotions because, like you, I was a student here at NIU back in the day, and I was a resident of Douglas Hall. But time marches on, the campus evolves, and I think this is the next step in the evolution of NIU.
Community leaders are discussing DeKalb's future at an economic development summit. NIU's Center for Governmental Studies gave a presentation about the economy at the summit. Community members could share their opinions and ideas to improve the economic growth of the county. DeKalb County is expected to host a second summit to present a draft of its vision for the future in early April.
Kish Health System is merging with Northwestern Medicine. The Illinois Health Board is allowing Northwestern to take over both Kish-affiliated hospitals. Kish Health plans to become a part of the Northwestern Medicine by the end of this year. The vote comes after a mental health care citizens group publicly opposed the merger. That's because the deal does not require the hospital to provide bed space for mental health patients in DeKalb.
The merger is going to do nothing to help the lack of mental health beds in DeKalb County. They closed down the only 6-bed inpatient unit at Kishwaukee Hospital 6 years ago. They've refused to reopen it regardless of what we claim we have.
Speaking of hospitals, the number of cases of an infectious disease that can cause diarrhea, vomiting, and other stomach problems continues to increase. The Winnebago County Health Department reports that there have been over 20 cases of a disease called shigellosis since October. That's the same number reported for all of 2014. Most cases have been reported in daycare and elementary schools.
The Newt Olson Forest Preserve lost 2 maple trees after someone cut them down over the weekend. The trees have been cut near the base with an axe. Police are asking anyone with information to come forward by calling Crime Stoppers.
Heartland Community College in Normal is facing a potential faculty strike, but the school's president intends to hold classes for whether the strike happens or not. Both administrators and faculty say they will continue to negotiate and talk more on Friday.
This past week, Kalen High School saw significant damage to school property. Graffiti with explicit language and threats could be found on the walls of bathroom stalls. The school says it is not taking the threats lightly. The student responsible for the threat has been identified and classes have resumed.
Well, high school is a lot different than kindergarten. In fact, kindergarten is a critical time in a child's aging process and usually only lasts a half day.
But many kindergartens are making a big change in their daytime schedules. NTC reporter Brianna Flood shows us what a new day looks like for many young students.
Kindergarten. Many people think of nap time or half days. Kindergartens in most districts are now spending full days working on different learning activities. Even though the expectations for kindergarten are more academic, schools still allow children to explore with their imagination by dressing up for Halloween, playing house, and painting their favorite colors and outlines of their bodies. Some may ask, is a full day too long for 5- and 6-year-olds?
In full day programs, you have a little bit more time to take some breaks, allow for some more exploration and kind of time where the kids are choosing what they do rather than just constantly having the academics.
As much as children love to learn, the downtime gives them a rest and lets them still be kids.
Sometimes kindergartners can be a lot to handle, but kindergarten should be something that helps promote children's learning and development.
And at this grade level, there is a diverse group of kids with a lot of different learning needs. Kindergarten classrooms have teacher aides and multiple learning centers to fit each child's learning development. Socialization is also very important for kindergartners.
Kindergarten, you're really teaching them, how do you make a friend? How do you talk to a friend? How do you treat friends? That's all new to some of them as well.
And for children ages 5 and 6, meeting new friends makes them so excited. With kindergarten now being a full day, children are learning not just academically, but are able to stretch their imaginations and learn about the world.
I think kindergarten has always been an academic place. It's not just been about fun and socialization and learning about school. It's been about learning about our world. It's about learning what time means. It's been about sounds and language and books and drawing and painting. And so it's a like I said, it's a pretty magical place.
Even with a full day for these 5- and 6-year-olds, they still get to enjoy one of the best parts of kindergarten we all remember, snack time. In DeKalb, NTC News, Brianna Flood.
Unfortunately, with all of this rain, those kindergarten students may have to spend recess inside.
Christina Lind is here now with weather. Christina, is all this rain going to continue?
Actually, I do believe we will be seeing a break with the rain and a break in the skies as well. We will be seeing sun once again, but still brace yourself for those gusty winds. And let's take a look at tomorrow's outlook. We will stay breezy with gusts up to 35 miles per hour and sunny skies. But for those warm weather lovers, I do see some snow in the forecast for Saturday. For more on this week's forecast, stay with us. You're watching NTC News Tonight.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back, everybody. A pretty gloomy Wednesday out there today. A good thing, though, that rain will be moving out of our area for the next couple of days. We did reach a high of around 59 degrees, which is still well above normal for this time of year, so we can't really ask for much better than that. Let's go ahead and take a look outside right now. The clouds, once again, are breaking away, thank goodness, but we still are seeing a little bit of clouds, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and take a look for the map for Wednesday. This low pressure system is moving out of our way, thank goodness, because I'm tired of seeing rain. I'm sure a lot of people are as well. So for Thursday, this high pressure system is unfortunately bringing those cooler temperatures our direction. But for Friday, this is what I'm more concerned about. This very heavy snow area is possible Friday night into Saturday for our particular area. We could possibly be reaching up to 8 inches of snow. So definitely make sure that you have your snow blowers ready, filled with gas, or those shovels ready as well. So let's go ahead and take a look for Wednesday night. Mostly cloudy, fairly breezy, gusts up to 35 miles per hour. So since this past weekend was fairly nice, if you did put out those holiday decorations, I suggest bringing those loose ones inside. We will reach low around 37 degrees. For Thursday, sunny, still windy out there, a high of around 44, gusts once again up to 35 miles per hour. So if you're walking on campus, try to stay still. For Thursday night, mostly clear, a little bit chilly, 27 degrees for our low, so we will be below freezing. So I wouldn't be surprised also if we did see some frost outside. Let's go ahead and take a look at that 5-day forecast. Thursday into Friday, we will be seeing a little drop, but Saturday is definitely going to be one day to be concerned about. Once again, keep those snow blowers ready, shovels ready. If you're driving, make sure to not drive in the snow, or just definitely be very careful. Sunday, we will be still in low 30s, and for Monday, we will be seeing a high of around 38 and sunny. That's it for weather. Now let's send it back to the desk.
The French are still searching for suspects behind last week's attacks.
And a bomb threat stops a soccer match between rivals. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch. 7 people have been detained and 2 people died in an operation against terrorist suspects in Paris earlier today. A source said the raids in Saint-Denis focused on 2 different locations. The raid on one group led to a raid on another group. Authorities say the security operation is linked to the deadly attacks that rocked the French capital on Friday.
A European soccer game between rivals was called off just 2 hours before kickoff. A bomb threat caused a game between the Netherlands and Germany to be canceled at short notice yesterday. No explosives have been found.
In our country, governors in many states are worried about the immigration of thousands of Syrian refugees. At least 30 governors, mostly Republicans, say they will not allow Syrian refugees in their states. Only 7 governors are welcoming the refugees.
President Obama is urging business leaders to reduce emissions and embrace a renewable energy future. The president is trying to build momentum for an international climate deal as climate talks in Paris are just a few weeks away. Obama is currently in the Philippines at a summit of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation. He says operating in a cleaner way is better for business. And that's today's World Watch.
In another major world event, the country of Myanmar recently held elections and took a step toward democracy. For decades, the country has been controlled by the military.
This is Nobel laureate Aung San Suu Kyi. She is the leader of the National League for Democracy, and she just won a landslide victory in the elections. These elections are historic for the small country.
But here at NIU, we have a few links back to Myanmar. Here with us is Amy Levine. She's the head of the English department. She is also the first Fulbright scholar to set foot in a university in Myanmar in almost 30 years back in 2013. Dr. Levine, first of all, explain why this election is such a big deal for Myanmar.
Well, they have not had open elections in over 30 years. And so since they were announced several years ago, everybody has been very excited to see what would happen and whether the military would continue to hold its grip on the country.
So in 2013, you spent time in Myanmar. What was that like for you?
Well, it was really different from anywhere else I'd been before. I've traveled around the world, but I had never been anywhere that had been as isolated for a long time. For many people, I was the first American they'd ever met. I was teaching MA students in English there, and many of their faculty had never met an American either. So I was completely a new thing or new person for them. But at the same time, the country was changing tremendously. So while I was there, they went from not allowing, for instance, Western soda pop to allowing things like Coke and Pepsi again for the first time. So this was all huge changes, and people were really excited, but it was also a little bit unnerving for people because they never knew from day to day what was allowed. So to give you an example, I was told that press was not allowed on campus. And of course the press there was really interested in my trip because it was the first one. And one of the local reporters had asked to come interview me and wanted a picture of me with the classroom building in the background. So I said, I'm happy to do it, but you can't be on campus. So we made very elaborate plans to meet out in front of the building. And then the day came, and I came downstairs, and there was the reporter right on the door of the building. And I was sort of surprised, and I was immediately told that that day they'd agreed to let her in, and that was the first time. And I talked to people later that evening, and they said they were just shocked. So that's an example of the kind of change that was happening every day.
Okay. Here at NIU, we've been developing a relationship with universities in Myanmar through you and other professors. What is that relationship like right now?
Well, we've actually had a Center for Burma Studies for many years, and we're the only the only university in the U.S. that has had something exactly like that. However, in the time since the country opened in 2013, we have been building much more comprehensive links. So for instance, faculty in history and in environmental studies have been and have worked with people there. We're building a connection with the University of Yandaman in Mandalay. We're bringing scholars from Myanmar over here to meet with people. We have a new faculty member who teaches Burmese language. Her name is Tharapi Than, and she maintains very strong contacts there too.
Okay, so Dr. Levine, do you plan on going back to Myanmar anytime soon?
Well, I have to raise a little money. It's a big trip, but since I'm retiring in December, I really hope to get back.
Okay. And do you think now that we're past the elections with the move toward democracy, will we see relations improve?
I certainly hope so. I think everybody is going to proceed with caution to make sure that the change is sustained and that the military doesn't jump back in. But I think the possibilities are really terrific.
Well, Dr. Levine, thank you for taking the time to speak with us about such an important time in Myanmar. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey everyone, welcome to NTC Sports. I'm Emily Beebe. The Bulls just barely pulled off the win Monday night against the Indiana Pacers, but let's see how they got it done. The Bulls leading in the fourth, Derrick Rose hits a three-pointer from the top of the key that makes it 88-80 Bulls. Pacers put on the pressure, and Monta Ellis drives up the middle, and his layup ties the game. Pacers inbound with 5.1 seconds left. Paul George drives to the lane to make a shot, but he's stuffed by Jimmy Butler, and that's the game. Butler's game-saving play makes the final score 96-95 Bulls. Just a heads up, the Bulls take on the Phoenix Suns tonight at 9:30. Now let's move over to some college ball, and the Kentucky Wildcats win against the Duke Blue Devils. In the first half, Isaiah Briscoe with the lob from half court to Marcus Lee for the slam. Kentucky up 6, Duke's Matt Jones with the fake, and he hits the three from the wing. Kentucky now up 10, Murray steals the inbound pass. He takes it to the house and makes a tough move for this layup. Well, we get our play of the day from the Kentucky-Duke game too. Murray with the ball, a nice behind-the-back move, and he tosses it up to Alex Poitras for the slam. Why don't we take another look at this play? Some unbelievable moves by Murray with that behind-the-back dribble. The Wildcats take the Blue Devils 74-63, and Jamal Murray takes the play of the day. Here in DeKalb, a new lacrosse club is coming to town. NTC's Raven Boyd shows us how people are already gearing up for the spring lacrosse season.
Over the last 15 years, lacrosse has spread quickly, transforming into one of the fastest growing sports in America. DeKalb will soon be gearing up for the spring season as a new lacrosse club makes its way to the area. The DeKalb Park District recently hosted a series of Tri-Lacrosse Days, inviting youth and high school students from the community to learn basic skills, try on equipment, and play a live game.
The NIU lacrosse club's been here helping us out with the kids. Pretty much new to everybody out here, as you can see, the way they're throwing the ball. But our hope is to have enough kids interested to form some teams.
Lacrosse has more than tripled in size since 2001, with nearly 775,000 players on organized teams. Children can begin playing lacrosse as early as kindergarten and continue throughout high school. The growing popularity of the sport has provided more opportunities for students to continue on the college level.
Whoever wants to play, we have this beautiful facility. It's an indoor facility. We can start teaching the kids now and get them up to speed for a spring season.
The DeKalb Park District will be hosting lacrosse clinics in early spring for those interested in joining the Stampede. For NTC News in DeKalb, this is Raven Boyd.
Thanks, Raven. Well, that's it for sports. Don't forget, Huskies football takes on Western Michigan tonight at home at 7 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Have a great weekend.
Coming up, a colorful truck in the center of campus could be the spot for your next healthy meal. We'll explain.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
People of Chicago, apparently you drink a lot.
A new study finds that those who live in Chicago and 2 surrounding suburbs are the booziest people in the entire state. A report by 24/7 Wall Street looks at binge drinking ranks. They say Illinois is high on the list compared to other states across the country. But the 3 cities with the most excessive drinkers in the entire state are Chicago, Naperville, and Elgin.
As college students, we all know how hard it is to eat, right? But there's a new way to get a healthy meal. Go to the center of campus.
One NIU alumni has a great idea to cater to people at NIU, the Rolling Harvest food truck. NTC reporter Alex Isom shows us the story behind this restaurant on wheels.
And it was all-cider.
I became very interested in food probably like 7 years ago. Actually, the film Food Inc. inspired me greatly to kind of take control over what I was eating, make my own food more. I've been a student a lot of my life. I know it's difficult sometimes when you're in a hurry. You got a lot of things in your mind to eat the right way. And if something isn't right there that's convenient, you're probably going to grab whatever is convenient. And oftentimes it's not something that's healthy. I was sitting in class and listening to other group presentations. Things that kept coming back as far as responses from students was that they wanted more healthy and convenient options, and it's something I knew I could do. I put together a business plan, just Googled business plan and changed some things that I downloaded in there, made it my own, put together a little bit of a menu. Instead of just, buying cheap ground beef, I want to do something that is a little healthier because it's leaner. I just think that food is, kind of it's like a cure. It's a cure-all. Instead of just slapping a quick fix on things like people want to, you just eat right and exercise. You probably don't need all these drugs. Well, I'd love to have a garden right here because then I could pick things, super fresh. I mean, food is medicine, and the second you pick it, it starts losing that potency, the phytochemicals. They don't last very long. So I'm gonna start sneaking vegetables into people's food. I'll go somewhere else and sell this food before I start selling garbage anywhere.
The food truck has been on the campus since the beginning of the semester.
A healthy place to eat that's within walking distance? Sounds like a win-win. NTC News Tonight is a student-produced and directed newscast.
We want to thank you all for being with us. We'll be back on the same time on Monday.
Goodbye, everyone.